Hey everyone, Eric here. So, I have an update. This is no longer the best mixbus saturator out there. Let me tell you why. Okay, so we got this going on the whole song, not automated, just the settings are static. Here are my settings right here. So we've got like mid-side, analog stereo mode, channel link off, drive at 25 for the mid channel, low safe and high smooth, mix 100%, magic 100%, side channel drive 67%, high smooth on, same cranked mix and magic, whatever. I did have the automatic gain compensation for both channels, for both drive and magic, which is what I was praising before. Like, it's so simple and easy to have auto gain compensation. You don't have to worry about matching, setting the output by yourself, and you can get a fairly consistent level between your mid and your side channels, which also enhances the stereo width. That is all true, right? Especially because I was coming from this mixbus saturator, right? This is the Vertigo VSM3, which is also by Brainworks / Plugin Alliance. And what you have to do, let me just like bypass the Looptrotter and not bypass this, is you gotta, this is the drive, whatever. And you have to kind of look at these tiny ass LEDs and then match the level. So this is the input and this is the output, right? Look at these two tiny LEDs, input and output. You gotta match their brightness. That's how you compensate for gain. And you have to do it yourself. So you set your drive for whatever channel, like this can be your mid and this can be your side, whatever. You got to set your drive, get that drive going the way you want it, and then you set your gain compensation. Do you see how hard it is to look at these meters? Look at these meters, right? These LEDs are yellow, okay? And the background is yellow, and you got to match the brightness. Do you know how annoying? Let me tell you, like, this is just not practical and it's just not doable, right? You will waste so much time just trying to squint your eyes and try and match the brightness level of these two LEDs for both channels, right? So that's why I ditched it. And I went with this one, which has the automatic gain compensation here, all right? That just does it for you. And I was like, wow, this is amazing, whatever. But the thing is, I've noticed recently, right? When you play a quiet section of a song, say you see the intro, there's not much going on here. There's just this synth going, these pads, and then after 4 bars, I got a Mark 1 going, and then no drums and whatever, nothing else going for this song. For some reason, when you have this Looptrotter on, it makes soft parts of the song really, really crunchy. I'm talking like it will over distort the thing. Like if you set your saturation levels to the loudest part of the song, which is what you should be doing, and then you just leave them static, it will make the soft parts of the song way oversaturated. Now, I thought that this was because I had gain compensation on. So what I tried this morning because let me tell you, I so wanted this to be the be all end all to mixbus saturators. So I did my own gain compensation. Now that it's static, you can see I've turned off automatic gain compensation. I've set my output to -6 on the mid and -10 to the side, all right? Now, I tried it again. What I did was I bypassed all the plugs on my mix bus and the master bus, and like I only had this bus comp going, and then I bounced the version, and then I only had this bus comp and the Looptrotter Sa2rate going, and I bounced the version and I listened to that intro, which is normally quieter. And it was still crunchy, even after I had manually set my gain compensation. So unfortunately, this mixbus saturator is not the one for, it's not the saturator for all use cases. Now there are specific instances where I would use this and I would turn on automatic gain compensate. Like, let's be honest here, one of the main draws of this saturator is the high smooth thing, as well as the automatic gain compensation. Now I would use this in certain instances, like on the mix bus, if the song had a volume level that was consistent throughout the entire song. Like, I'm talking dynamic range is very, very small. I'll use this because it wouldn't, like, I would set it to the loudest part of the song, but the difference between the loudest part of that song and the softest part of that song, that this hypothetical song that has a very small dynamic range, would be minimal, and so you wouldn't oversaturate the soft parts of the song and it would be okay. However, I don't like to produce songs like that. I like songs that have lots of, section changes that are, you've got quiet sections and you've got loud sections. That's what I like. So it's back to using this, but I've just upgraded to the MS version, and we'll see how this one goes. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you again next time. Take care.